Hello and welcome to Scooped, the ice cream review podcast, where we try all the cone creations, signature slushes, and frozen foods on the East Coast to give you the ultimate scoop. My name is Holly Hagman, and with me is my co-host, husband, and ice cream connoisseur, Paul Percivali. Paul, I wanted to tell you that doing this podcast with you is gelato fun.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. This is one I wrote myself, too, so I'm really proud of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I did this one.
I wouldn't have known that.
Well, now you do.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, look at me. All right. In our last episode, we reviewed Strollo's Lighthouse, which we placed at the S tier level. And for this episode, we are reviewing a popular chain well known for turning their ice cream upside down, Dairy Queen.
Is it a popular chain that is countrywide, or is it like Eastern Seaboard?
Oh, they're international, baby.
Yeah, I could. You know what? I could see that.
Yeah, and we'll learn.
It's like they have the most. Never mind. Go ahead. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. And we'll learn all about how Dairy Queen came to be and grew over the course of time in our notes. But I think that it's important to be aware that I'm going to do my best not to totally roast this place. Even though it's my least favorite ice. I think I've been fairly vocal about it in previous podcasts, if you've noticed the tone with which I've mentioned Dairy Queen.
Yes.
It's my least favorite in general.
I mean, you didn't completely hate it last time we went, but
it's true. It's getting better, I think.
But I don't know how many more opportunities we'd actually have to try Dairy Queen over the other things that we have that we know are amazing. Because why would we go and buy Dairy Queen when Frozen Flavors and Strollo's and Ryan's ice cream are a thing?
Precisely. So this is going to be the shortest podcast ever. We're just going to skip right to the review.
No, but Dairy Queen's actually an interesting company, and it's worth just talking about their business model and the other things that they do.
Definitely. So first of all, right from their website, I think it's important to read their mission and vision statements. So here we go. Their mission statement on the Dairy Queen website is to create positive memories for all who touch DQ. Aw.
DQ.
That's cute.
Hmm.
And then the vision is to be the world's favorite quick service restaurant. Now,
I was about to... Okay.
That's interesting because quick service restaurant is like the industry title for fast food.
Okay, so it covers anything even if they don't sell anything other than ice cream?
Well, here's the thing. There are certain Dairy Queens that...
There are some Dairy Queens out there that are like Sonics or something?
Yes. Dairy Queen sells food. Like, the overall company makes burgers and chicken fingers and french fries and hot dogs and things like that.
But most of them don't seem to do that.
Yes, a lot of the Dairy Queens by us are what's called Dairy Queen treats, technically, and they just serve the ice cream.
Okay.
There's only one Dairy Queen sort of in our general vicinity that I know of that sells food, and it's like... I want to say New Brunswick. It's not, close.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, one in New Jersey.
Oh, no.
Because I would have believed you if you said that.
I think there's more than one in the state, but just, not near us.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's interesting. They want to be the world's favorite quick service restaurant. And as someone, I've never had Dairy Queen food, but I've heard other people review Dairy Queen food.
You have? What did they say?
They did not have nice things to say.
Ah.
So, yeah, I listened to a different podcast that reviews fast food places. It's called 100% Eat.
Those your Rooster Teeth boys?
Formerly of Rooster Teeth, yes. That company no longer exists.
Sadly.
But the podcast they review fast food places, and occasionally they have ended up at Dairy Queen. And, you think we roast Dairy Queen?
Oh, snap.
Oh, snippity snap.
Oh, they're worse?
They were mean to Dairy Queen.
I think I think all the places that we've reviewed that aren't, like, the best, I think we've covered them with a certain amount of respect.
Me too.
Do they just, like, go hard on just tearing companies apart?
Sometimes. The one they hate most is Burger King, quite frankly.
When I ate meat, I didn't hate Burger King. Burger King was actually my favorite fast food burger place. Like, I abhorred McDonald's throughout my entire life. Yes.
Wow.
But Burger King tasted pretty good, at least. But I was also a stupid kid who was like 10 and I didn't have good taste.
Right.
I was probably eating it more with my eyes than I was with my mouth.
Right. And I mean, that's kind of their point, is like, if you like Burger King as an adult, you probably liked it as a kid. And
Exactly.
So it's like, it's interesting. But anywho, that's the random shout out to 100% Eat. Moving on, back to
Burger boomers. Sorry, I had to say that.
That was delayed, but I liked it. Let us know in the comments if you're a burger boomer or not. Anywho, so Dairy Queen is, some of them do serve food. They have an extensive timeline because the company is not very young. It's been around a long time.
Uh-huh.
And the entire timeline is available on their website, but we're not going to go through every single thing. We're just going to
Because we'd be here all year.
Yeah, this would be a 3-hour podcast, and we don't have the time for that. So, Dairy Queen timeline highlights is what we'll be discussing. Let's kick it off with when it was founded. Okay.
Let's see. Dairy Queen was first opened by Sherb Noble. Sherb Noble? I really wonder what ethnicity that is. It's interesting. In Joliet, Illinois. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yep.
Okay, Joliet, Illinois in 1940. Their soft-serve formula was developed in 1938 by father-son team John Fremont and Alex McCullough, then implemented in the stores upon opening.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's funny, what happened was basically this Mr. Sherb Noble owned a store, just like a general store, I believe, in Joliet, Illinois, and the father-son team of JF and Alex McCullough ended up, like, synthesizing a soft serve formula, and then they came up to Sherb and were like, can you sell this out of your store, please? And he was like, sure, I sure will. And apparently they sold out in, like, record time, and they couldn't keep it in stock, and so this group of people got together to create their own store, specifically for the ice cream, and that's how Dairy Queen was born.
Didn't you say that Carvel was the first one to put a patent on soft serve?
Correct.
Now, when did Carvel make their patent their soft serve again?
I want to say 1934, but I'm going to pull up the notes from episode 1 because I don't remember. I've looked at a lot of different things.
And you don't want to give it that information?
1936 is when Carvel patented their soft serve recipe. Now, that doesn't mean that they have the whole market on soft serve.
I mean, obviously, other places sell soft serve.
Right. So Carvel patented their soft serve recipe in 1936.
And Dairy Queen developed their formula in 38.
Right.
Okay, so 2 years after.
Correct.
We
really need to make an entire timeline of, like, the ice cream zeitgeist timeline.
I'm all for that.
Oh, it's gonna take so long.
you could make it, and then I can print it up at school, and then we could take down that painting above the desk, and we can replace it with a big old giant poster of the ice cream zeitgeist.
Well, the problem is, it's always going to be like, we're always going to be adding new things because we're always going to be doing new episodes.
Well, why don't we have it in, like,
stages?
Well, why don't we have, like, a big frame, and then we just, like, keep printing out squares that, like, slot in, and then it's just like a puzzle. Like
a slide puzzle.
Like a slide puzzle. You just keep moving things around. Like, if something let's say that we have the first thing on the top at like something that happens in 1938, and then we find out something happens in 1936. Then we just pull out everything and put in 1936, and then put everything else back up. Yes. I'm for this. The ice cream zeitgeist timeline. And you're adding it to your list of things to do.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway, moving on, unless you have something else to add.
Nope.
All right. So, in 1962, IDQ, is that International Dairy... Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, International Dairy Queen LLC, headquarters in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Incorporated. That's an I, not an L.
Oh. It's the parent company of American Dairy Queen Corporation and Dairy Queen Canada Incorporated. Through its subsidiaries, IDQ develops, licenses, and services a system of more than 7,500 locations in 20 countries.
Yep.
Dang. Okay. So they are bigger time than I thought.
Yep.
IDQ is a subsidiary of Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated, acquired in 1998, which is led by Warren Buffett, the legendary investor and CEO of Berkshire. Oh, so that's what Warren Buffett does. I've heard the name, but
he owns Dairy Queen, apparently.
And along with a bunch of other things.
Yes, Berkshire Hathaway has a large... I don't even know. I didn't list all the companies because they're huge.
Yes. But I didn't know. I've heard the name Warren Buffett, like...
In passing,
but I never knew what he actually did. So he's like a food industry mogul
he's
or
just
something?
Like a big investor guy. And in this case, one of the things he invested in is the International Dairy Queen Incorporated. So,
well, I mean, he seems to be doing well enough with that. I mean, they're all over the place.
I mean, 7,500 of them in 20 countries is huge. And I mean, the only place that kind of compares that we've done is Cold Stone.
Yeah.
Because Cold Stone is in 32 countries. I don't know their total storefront number, but like still, I feel like Dairy Queen is more common than Cold Stone.
I would agree with that, probably. We would have to find out the numbers. So it says 7,500 locations. We'll have to like Google at some time later.
The total amount of
Cold Stones throughout the entire world. And then see how they compare.
But it's interesting. Of those 7,500 locations, right, across 20 countries, the most Dairy Queens in the United States are located in Texas. And you could...
Really?
And you could say that because it's like a large state, or, well, maybe they just love their ice cream. It's hot down there all the time. I don't know. Point is, Texas has over 600 locations for Dairy Queen.
I mean, are we allowed to curse?
I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, let's just not.
Let's try not to.
Let's just beep it. 7,500, which means that a tenth of all the Dairy Queens around the world. Around a tenth of all the Dairy Queens in the world are just in Texas.
Correct.
That's crazy.
And what also is interesting about Dairy Queen in Texas is DQ Texas has its own like subsection of Dairy Queen to the point that they have their own app separate from the Dairy Queen app. When you go in the App Store, and you type in Dairy Queen, there's Dairy Queen, and then under it, there's Dairy Queen Texas. They're different things.
They're an industry upon themselves.
Yep. It's kind of crazy. And Texas loves them some Dairy Queen. And also, fun fact, the podcast we mentioned earlier, the 100% Eat People, are based in Austin. So
they're probably just sick of Dairy Queen in general because it's all over the place. It's probably on every store, every like corner of every city, of every area in all of Texas.
I don't know. How many Dairy Queens in Austin, Texas?
That's going to be a crazy number. Does it tell you? Like, will it just straight up tell you how many there are?
Well, there's at least 5 that come up right away.
Jesus Christ. Oh, that's 2, a lot 3, of...
4, 5, 6, 7 on the map, and counting, probably. But yeah, so a chunk. Oh, there's a lot of Dairy Queens. There's a lot of Dairy Queens in Texas. And that's kind of crazy. So, but
now let's move on to places other than Texas.
Other than Texas.
All right, so the largest Dairy Queen, according to this information here, in the United States is the largest building is 5,000 square feet and is located in Bloomington, Illinois. It's a pretty big Dairy Queen.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other half of this fact, I don't have the square footage, but the largest one in the world is not in the United States.
Yes, the largest one in the world is located in Saudi Arabia.
Which is not a place
which is kind of a crazy place. Like, the largest building.
Mm-hmm. The largest Dairy Queen building in the world is located in Saudi Arabia.
Is it also in, like, the hottest part of the entire country?
I'm not sure, actually. I don't know much about Saudi Arabia.
I don't know much about them either. But I feel like that's got to be the case, because if it's really hot, they have to have, like, a really big Dairy Queen to meet the needs of the people who are dying of, like, heat exposure. That would make the most sense to me. What have you found there? Anything?
Measuring at 7,500 square feet, the 2-story restaurant is in the capital city of Riyadh and can seat up to 240 customers.
Wow. Why would they need that many seats?
I don't know.
And that's literally, like...
And it's not even that old. It says it was built in 2011.
Yes, it's literally 1.5 times bigger than the one that's in Bloomington, Illinois.
Uh-huh.
That's massive. Like, I wish we had, like, a building that we could, like, show as, like... And that everyone would know that we can use as, like, a comparison. A comparison.
Of, like, what else is 7,500 square feet?
Yeah, like, what else is 7,500 square feet? Yeah. But... Oh, you're pulling it up?
I'm seeing if we can find a famous building.
Well, you can keep working on that, and I'm going to keep going with other information here.
We'll look into that.
Dairy Queen is franchised by Orange Julius. Orange Julius. Is that a person's name, or is that a building?
That's a company.
Okay. They purchased it in 1988, and many locations also serve their signature drinks and smoothies.
Yeah, so Orange Julius is you know how we talked about how Cold Stone hooks up with Tim Hortons and Baskin Robbins hooks up with Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen hooks up with Orange Julius, which is a smoothie place.
They do this all over this country or all over the world?
I believe all over the world. The Dairy Queen we went to had Orange Julius smoothies on their menu.
Oh.
The other day.
Okay. So the one's all the way over here in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'd never even heard of Orange Julius.
It used to be, like, more popular remember when, like, the mall was big?
Yes.
Back in the day, when you would go to the food court,
there
would be Orange Julius everywhere.
You're gonna date us, honey.
I know, I'm 1,000 years old, but anywho.
Yes.
The Orange Julius was a big mall food court food place.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that. I've never heard of them before. I guess I've never been a smoothie person, so it's not like something that would really be on my radar.
Right, that makes sense. But yeah, so Dairy Queen, in addition to, their regular ice cream stuff, they serve fruit smoothies courtesy of Orange Julius. So that's kind of fun.
Okay.
Now, this is also interesting. We talked about how some Dairy Queens serve food, and the concept, which was called the brazier concept, which is now referred to often as DQ Grill and Chill, was originally introduced in 1957 when the franchise began serving hot food along with their ice cream treats. So they were serving ice cream solely from 1940 to 1957, and then they added food to their menu, but not all Dairy Queens operate under the DQ Grill and Chill umbrella. Some of them only serve ice cream still. Right. So it's like to me it's a little confusing. It's like, if you're gonna serve food, serve food.
Do you know the ratio? Like, I feel like there's probably more that just sell the ice cream.
Definitely. At least around us. I don't know if that's like
the same worldwide.
Yeah. But for sure. And the most famous Dairy Queen offering, this was the shocking fact. I unearthed while doing this research. Arguably, the Blizzard is like Dairy Queen's big seller, right? That's what they're known for.
Right.
This treat where you mix in toppings to the soft serve, and it's thick so that you could turn it upside down and not have it spill.
Yeah, I'm sure that wouldn't work, but okay.
However, the Blizzard wasn't added to the menu until 1985, which is 45 years after Dairy Queen started, for you math people out there. And
Yes.
It was inspired by a dish called concrete served at the St. Louis ice cream shop Ted Drew's.
I feel like there's a pattern here with all of these, like, high-end, like, highly popular worldwide ice cream places, like Cold Stone, seeing something that the other guys are doing, and then they just roll with it, and they have the money to, like, really push it further.
It sure does seem to be a common occurrence.
But you know
because
what?
We've now seen this with Cold Stone, and we're seeing it here with Dairy Queen. But it's interesting because, like, I just don't know. Like, I guess it's whoever has the better marketing.
Yeah, I was about to say. It's also like there's no... Usually, if someone comes up with an idea, they got the inspiration from something else that already existed. It's very rare that someone is going to pull, like, a really unique idea out of the blue. Everyone is copying each other. That's kind of how art goes. Like, everyone copies the other guy and makes a small adjustment, and then the next person copies the guy who copied the first guy, and then they make a small adjustment, and then that's how styles are born. They're just, like, slowly created over time based off of, the first couple of guys who did something.
Apparently. So yeah, I was just double checking to see if this Ted Drew's place was still open, and it is, and there are 3 locations all in St. Louis, Missouri.
Did they sue?
It doesn't appear that
Oh, okay.
that way. But yeah, their big seller on their menu are called concretes, and they have different flavors that you can get. And it's just, this is where the Blizzard originated.
Did they, are they on our list?
No, because we don't, as of now, we're not traveling
Oh, wait.
to...
Oh, St. Louis.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay.
Be on the East Coast right now. Maybe someday.
Maybe in like 3 years when we actually finish going through... Wait, is it 3 or 4 years worth of ice cream places we have on our list?
It's about 3 years worth of content we have right now.
Well, assuming that we're still doing this, yeah.
We can start expanding westward and
When we-
southward.
When we have 300 plus hours of content already on the internet.
Yeah, people always love to hear about ice cream.
It's true. I know I do.
Me too. But something about Dairy Queen that, even though they're not my favorite, and we've talked about that, something about Dairy Queen that's really nice that I learned about that maybe you could share with us.
Yep, I was about to say. They have a partnership with Children's Miracle Network, which led to the creation of the Miracle Treat Day. What's the Miracle Treat Day?
Well, if you notice the next bullet, it says
Oh, right.
that this year it was on July 25th in
Yes.
2024, and
All net proceeds for all Blizzards sold on this day are donated to local children's hospitals. And approximately $1 or more for each Blizzard sold. So net proceeds. Oh, okay. So for like every Blizzard they sold on this day, is that like worldwide?
apparently.
Worldwide, okay. That's pretty nice.
And-
Goes to the Children's Miracle Network.
Well, actually, if I remember correctly, I think it's just US and Canada. Maybe
Oh.
not worldwide. But either way,
That's
it
still
goes to the local children's hospitals in whatever area it's being sold to. So overall, it's still just like a huge day for like, how can you argue with that? You get to go have ice cream and do something nice for children who are sick. It's
Yes.
great.
That is really nice. I mean, even if we don't particularly like their product, the fact, that I know that they're doing good at least makes me want to support them a little bit.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll have to go over there next time.
Next July.
Next July that it's Miracle Treat Day, and we'll just go get a Blizzard.
Yep. But they have been doing this Miracle Treat Day scenario for about 40 years. They've had a partnership with Children's Miracle Network.
And dang,
And
they've raised
a lot of money.
Yeah, $56.5 million.
Yep.
Which is not a shabby number at all.
Nope. So.
Yeah, people love their Blizzards.
And that's a perfect place to transition into the signature dishes from Dairy Queen.
Have we ever stayed this long on the topic of
The
history
background?
and background before?
I don't know.
I don't think we have. Dairy Queen is just like rich with history.
There's a lot of history. The only notes I've completed that are even comparable to this length is gonna be episode 13. So I won't say who that is, but they have been around a long, long time and have done a lot of stuff. So
I'll take your word for it.
Episode 13 is gonna be a long one too.
Okay. So now we're moving into the signature dishes. And the one that we've mentioned just now that we're going to start with is the Blizzard. The Blizzard is the Blizzard. It's like all the places that deal with ice cream, like on a very mass-produced scale, like the worldwide companies like McDonald's and Dairy Queen, obviously. They all have or Friendly's. I remember Friendly's having it too. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah, as someone who has done the notes for all of the previous episodes so far, Carvel has a Blizzard type thing called the Carvalanche, which I think is hysterical because they just used a different winter thing. Let me think. Cold Stone, I don't think had one.
Amazing. But
Friendly's does have one. It's called the Friend-Z because it's like spun in a frenzy. It was their description. It was clever. Rita's has concrete, which is like a Blizzard.
Theirs is named after the original.
Yeah, apparently. And what the heck was that other? There was another one.
I mean, Ryan's has something similar.
Yeah, Ryan's has the blend in.
It's basically the same thing. It's just the toppings mixed in with the ice cream itself. Hello, Chester. Yes.
He wants to be part of the podcast. He wants a Blizzard.
I was about to say, I think he wants ice cream.
Yeah, obviously.
And by ice cream, I mean food.
Well,
He's a chonk.
He is. I think we included a picture of him in the past, but we'll throw another one in for reference.
Yes. Yeah, big fat orange cat. But anyway, the Blizzard, soft serve spun with your favorite toppings. So, I'm guessing they throw the soft serve in a cup, and then they throw in the toppings, and then they put them in a blender? Is that how they do it?
I don't know if it's in a blender or there's some kind of mixing apparatus, but the point is, and the shtick with the Blizzard in most places, most Dairy Queens, is that it's spun together, and it's supposed to be so thick that when you turn the cup upside down, it doesn't drip, it doesn't fall out, it stays. Right? Mm-hmm. However, I took a photo, and I don't know if I showed you, the Dairy Queen we went to, it literally had a big old sign on the register that said, this Dairy Queen is not participating in the turn your cup upside down.
Is there a challenge?
It's like something, it's like if it spills, it's free or something, and it's like, this place is not doing that.
Oh, well, good for them. I mean, that sounds like it's trouble. Because I could see some kids, just giving it a little shake before they do it, and then the whole thing falls out. And also, that'd be a big old mess.
It sure would be.
They probably get so many ants around the building.
We are not the participating location in the upside down or free promotion.
Oh, it's an official promotion. I thought it was a fad. Like the ice bucket challenge.
No, that's a thing with Dairy Queen. That's their corporate mantra kind of thing. It's our stuff's so thick you can even turn it upside down. And then the individual Dairy Queens are we're not doing that. I'm not cleaning up all this ice cream off the floor today.
Yeah, I was about to say, I guess the actual company, the the small businesses or whatever, the locations are putting their foot down and be like, this is stupid. Corporate doesn't know what they're talking about.
I've cleaned up 7 pounds of ice cream today. What are you talking about? We're not doing this.
Yeah, like I was saying also, like even if they did this outside, there would be so many ants attracted to that area, and then once those ants don't have ice cream, then they're going to go into the building, and then they're going to have ant problems.
Alright, well, let's keep moving, because there's a lot of signature dishes at Dairy Queen, believe it or not, other than the Blizzard and the sundaes. So
I don't believe you, but let's go.
You can also get shakes or malts, and then something called moo lattes, which apparently is like a frozen coffee beverage at Dairy Queen. You can get the Misty Slush, which is a cool and refreshing slushy drink available in cherry, lemon, lime, blue raspberry, or strawberry kiwi.
Refreshing.
Or, if you want to get the Misty Freeze, it's the same thing, but it mixed with vanilla soft serve. So kind of like when we did Rita's and they had you could drink the Italian ice or you could drink the Italian ice mixed with soft serve. It's the same idea here. Dairy Queen has a few slushy flavors that you could then also mix with soft serve if you so choose. In addition to that, the last drinkable thing on the menu, I believe, is of course if it's a place that is franchised with Orange Julius, you can get fruit smoothies as well.
Yes, I'll have to try them sometime just to say I have.
Yeah, why not?
Assuming they don't have too much sugar. But if I'm going to eat sugar, I'm going to eat ice cream.
Fair enough. All right. Carry on.
They also have soft serve cones. Because, of course they do. I feel like Dairy Queen is their main selling thing other than the Blizzards is just soft serve ice cream, right? Because I don't really see them selling hard ice cream near as much when we go into the buildings.
Yeah, the one we went to had a few flavors of hard ice cream.
It had 8, but
you counted?
I always count. I count constantly.
I was gonna say 6, but you know better.
Yes, but the thing about it was the fact that I don't really remember anyone getting any. Do you?
No.
Everyone who came in either walked out with a Blizzard or they walked out with a soft serve ice cream cone.
Pretty much.
It just seems to be Dairy Queen's main thing, soft serve cones.
The only one I feel like they must use a lot is because my mom got the mint Oreo Blizzard, and I feel like they must use the mint ice cream as the base for that.
Probably, yeah. And then along with that, they also have banana splits. I'm assuming they use real bananas.
I hope so.
I didn't see any bananas, but I'm assuming that they exist.
I mean, we didn't order a banana split, so...
Yes.
You know.
They did have a lot of toppings, though, if I remember correctly.
They have a lot to choose from there. And when, getting to the more specific to Dairy Queen signature dishes, there's a lot to go through, so...
We'll get to that?
We'll get to that.
Okay. Moving on. There's also the Heath Caramel Brownie Cupfection.
Ain't nothing healthy about this thing.
Okay. Dairy Queen, all rights reserved. Fans, it's time to reach the height of indulgence with a taste of Heath Caramel Brownie Cupfection. Get your red spoon ready because this adventure into flavor will bring your taste buds to the peak of decadent bliss. A mountain of hot fudge and caramel, delectable brownie bits, crunchy toffee pieces. What's toffee?
It's the best way I can describe it is like a hardened caramel. It's very chewy and sugar hardened in a chewy toffee.
Okay.
Bit. I can't explain it otherwise.
Back to the description. And world famous soft serve awaits, and it's all waiting for you right now at Dairy Queen, all rights reserved, restaurant in the Heath, all rights reserved, Dairy Queen, all rights reserved, caramel brownie cupfection.
I told you, it got unhinged with the description.
Yes. Ready to ascend this summit of sweetness? It's time to venture to your local Dairy Queen, all rights reserved, restaurant to conquer your cravings with our creamy soft serve swirled with hot fudge and caramel toppings. Chocolate brownie and Heath, all rights reserved, Pieces. Now that's cupfection perfection. Nice. Victory for your sweet tooth is assured.
And that's
all rights reserved.
And that's just one of the descriptions, mind you. Because also, I don't know why my favorite part of this was ready to ascend this summit of sweetness. I really want that on a t-shirt, but I feel like we'll get sued. Yeah, I love it though.
Oh yeah, they got some pretty unhinged descriptions.
Okay. Then, so the cup fiction thing is like a specific type of treat. Then you have the Heath one that Paul just read about. I'm going to talk to you about the brownie Oreo cup fiction. Ready for this?
Ready for it.
Whenever you need a pick-me-up, we have a foolproof treat ready to enjoy. The brownie and Oreo, trademark, cup fiction. This next-level treat offers layers of flavors and textures. Indulge in our creamy vanilla soft serve, topped with a triple chocolate brownie, Oreo cookie pieces, rich chocolatey and marshmallow toppings, all served in one perfect cup.
Yeah, I don't like Oreos.
Just leave. I'll do the rest of the podcast by myself.
Oh, okay.
How do you don't like Oreos? What kind of monster? I swear, we are not the same.
No, we're not. We disagree on basically everything.
Which is probably why it's good for the podcast, because we try all kinds of different flavors. At least we're not both getting the same thing every time.
Yeah, we have a very different taste buds. Anything to add about the brownie and Oreo confection?
I mean, that sounds fantastic to me. I don't know why I didn't get that.
Because, I don't know, you went in expecting to get a Blizzard.
That's true. I wanted to get a Blizzard. Anywho. These next two are kind of paired together, and you'll see why.
Alright. Starting with the Buster Bar. Buster Bar, that sounds like, I don't know, a type of weapon. The Buster Bar. Or maybe a workout machine.
So the Buster Bar came out in 1968. It was like a take-home treat. It's a...
peanut butter parfait?
No. Read it again.
Peanut Buster parfait.
You see the connection now.
Yeah.
So they had a take-home treat on a stick. It's like a bar, and it has these items in it. But then they made basically the same thing in a cup called the Peanut Buster Parfait, and that one has the long description. So
yeah, this one sounds like it's more up my alley.
Well, basically, like, this thing is that thing, like, the Buster Bar is the Peanut Buster Parfait on a stick. Basically.
Nice.
In an ice cream bar form. But, like, let's hear about what's in the Peanut Buster Parfait.
Alright. Our Peanut Buster, all rights reserved.
Don't do it. Stop now.
Okay, fine. Parfait Royal Treat is a humble nod to the simple joys one can find in a well-crafted dessert. This treat features the iconic union of hot fudge and peanuts paired with our world-famous soft serve, all layered together to create a tasty dessert that is as charming as it is delicious. Enduring the test of time, this beauty has graced the menu since its debut in 1971 for a reason. Every red spoonful of our... Are they only allowed to sell it with red spoons?
That's like their shtick. They have red spoons.
Alright. Every red spoonful of our Peanut Buster Parfait Royal Treat is sure to leave your taste buds begging for more.
And I find it interesting to me. It's interesting to me in terms of the timing that they came up with the bar version first. Like, they came up with the bar in 1968, and then they were like, 3 years later, you know what would be good? Let's put all that in a cup and give it to them with a spoon.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
They know what they're doing.
And then the last big signature dish for Dairy Queen, something called the Dilly Bar. And here's the description.
Dilly Bar.
What's funny about it?
It just sounds like a silly name. I don't know who came up with it, but I hope they got fired.
It's literally been on their menu for decades, so I don't know.
Well, sometimes traditions need to be updated.
So the description for Dilly Bars. Embark on a journey into a world of frozen wonder with a simply yet classic Dilly Bar. From soothing a tough day at school to brightening your 9 to 5, this frosty treat is bound to break you out of the daily grind. The Dilly Bar offers a burst of joy, featuring our world-famous vanilla soft serve encased in a crisp, chocolatey coating. That's all it is, really. That's anticlimactic.
I was kind of hoping that it would have a pickle in it. Like,
dill pickle.
Like a dill pickle in it.
Ew.
Pickle-flavored ice cream.
That's not for anyone.
I don't even eat pickles most of the time, and I'm just like, there better at least be a dill pickle in here somewhere.
Nope. Few confections can rival the no-fuss pleasure of these classic flavors mingling harmoniously. This delectable Dairy Queen treat has graced our menu since 1955, withstanding the test of time as a beloved frozen dessert. Special occasion or not, this chocolatey delight promises satisfaction with each and every bite. Grab one today at your local DQ restaurant and earn a few DQ points while you're at it.
DQ points are a thing?
Yeah, they have an app
where
you can earn points and get rewards and stuff. Technically, I got a reward the other day. You know what good it does me? Does me no good because it's for like $1 off of a basket of chicken strips. And none of the Dairy Queens around us sell food.
Yeah. I wonder if we went up to them and complained, be like, so, where are my chicken strips? And then they'd be like,
get me some chicken
sir, I'm sorry, but we don't sell chicken strips. I'd be like, where's my chicken strips?
The best part is that you're a vegetarian, and that would be crazy.
Yeah, it's just like if someone tried to steal a bologna sandwich from me. I would still go out of my way to get it back, to throw it on the ground, because it's mine. And I demand chicken strips if I'm promised chicken strips.
Well, anywho.
Ooh, I wonder if we could, barter, go online and trade it with someone who's near Dairy Queen that actually
has food,
and then we can get maybe trade rewards. You should be able to trade rewards, if they have ice cream, and also they have a coupon for ice cream. We should be able to mix switch, trade the coupon for ice cream for our coupon with chicken strip. Whatever. I'm just going down the weird rabbit hole here.
All right, and before we get too far away from signature dishes, it's also important to note that the Dilly Bar, a non-dairy version of it, was created and added to the menu in 2020.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Did they say how it is? What did they use to make it non-dairy?
I don't know.
All right.
I'm sure
probably
we could look it up
or something.
Sure, we could look it up on the website. So, while I do that, do you want to talk about your experience at Dairy Queen?
My experience at Dairy Queen is pretty limited because whenever I go, there's one thing that I love above all else, and I kind of refuse to get anything else. Which is...
Hiccups?
Well, that's afterwards because I end up eating it too fast because I have to because it'll just melt if I don't. But we'll get to its, we should start Andrew had that really good idea about making a separate tier list for how fast all the ice creams melt out of all the places we go to.
I think that comes into our consideration for this tier list though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that'd be useful to know. Because Dairy Queen's melts pretty quickly.
Perhaps. Also, you were right, by the way.
It's coconut?
Coconut cream.
Cool. Anyway, so whenever I go to Dairy Queen, because they don't have cherry vanilla, and even if they did, there's one thing that I always get, no matter what, because there's no way they could be out of it. Well, at least half of it. I get a large cone with soft serve vanilla ice cream, dipped in the red candy-coated syrupy stuff. What are you laughing at?
Just the elegance with which you've described that.
Well, it's because it's a thing of beauty.
Candy-coated syrupy stuff.
Yeah, the candy-coated syrupy stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Anywho.
For anyone who doesn't know, there's you can get on soft serve ice cream. I'm pretty sure that they would put it on other things if you asked and paid for it. But it's this candy liquid drizzle that you can drop on top of ice cream cones, and then it hardens really quickly. So it adds a crunch to your first initial bite into whatever side of the ice cream cone that you're taking a bite out of. It's something that I've been getting ever since I was a kid, and with my mom, and I've never stopped. It's just like one of my favorite things of all the ice creams. I've gotten it from Carvel. They usually sell like a pre-made 4-pack. I've gotten it from Ralph's the first time we went, and dang, did that thing melt quickly. I don't think I've gotten it any other place. Dairy Queen is the one that I immediately associate it with, though. Which, at this point, I don't know why. Because, well, I guess the biggest reason is, like, they're huge. Dairy Queen gives you a ridiculous amount of ice cream. Like, whenever you get a soft serve, if you ask for a large soft serve, the thing is going to usually be, like, a full foot tall. I've even been to, like, different Dairy Queens that I've gotten it that was, like, even, like, a foot and a half. I swear to God, it felt that big. It was really tall. Remember the one when we went to the one at Route 9? I
feel like that's just, like, a war with gravity at that point.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you kind of lost a little bit.
Yes, I lost a little bit. Insert the slow moving image of me like reaching for the ice cream that fell on the pavement the other day. Anyway, that's all. Yeah, it's pretty much the thing that I've been having ever since I was a kid. It's probably not as good as I think it is. It's probably like nostalgia. It's probably a nostalgia comfort food kind of thing at this point, but it's what I get.
All right, then.
Yes, you probably have more to say at this point than I do, just because it's what I always get from Dairy Queen.
And the fact that you're ordering it more than once, I assume, means you really like it.
Yeah, the problem with it is, as I said, it's probably just a nostalgic comfort choice. I would say, at this point, I have had soft serve cones with red dip on them that are better than the ones in Dairy Queen.
But it's just like your go-to.
It's my go-to. It's like, I don't know, like people going to McDonald's and they just ask for a Big Mac and they don't put that much thought into it. But they know that it'll fill them up and satisfy them to some degree. It's kind of like that, except it's not really that satisfying from Dairy Queen. Yeah, I really should honestly try something new so I can, like, for some reason, if we ever go again, which I severely doubt.
Well, we're going to go on Miracle Treat Day, whenever that is.
Oh, yeah. So I'll get a Blizzard of some sort and see if it's any better.
All right.
But the only thing I'll say is the reason being, the red dip is fine. Honestly, it doesn't really taste like much. The soft serve itself, are we getting into, like, the flavors and tastes of things?
Sure you can. Sure.
The soft serve doesn't taste like anything.
No, it's true. I tried a bit just of his vanilla soft serve, because I always get the chocolate with whatever Blizzard I get. I swap out vanilla for chocolate because I think chocolate is better. Mm-hmm. And in Dairy Queen's case, that's definitely the truth, because the vanilla soft serve tastes like nothing. It has no flavor. It just tastes cold. It just tastes cold and empty. It was very strange. I don't know. But my chocolate isn't bad. So I've had at least the last 2 times I've been to Dairy Queen, I've had 2 very different experiences. The first one, we were actually away. I think we were in Rhode Island. We were at a big, giant shopping center. The biggest shopping center I've ever seen in my life. It was ridiculous. It had 4 levels, right? It had 4 levels, and it had, like, a movie theater and an escape room and everything under the sun that you could want. There was probably another ice cream place in there. We just didn't look hard enough. There were 4 levels, and every level was massive. So, anywho. I wouldn't doubt it if it was one of the biggest malls in the entire country, but go on. It's very large. So, we stopped at Dairy Queen for a little treat, because we wanted some ice cream. We were on vacation. It was, like, a thing to do. And Paul got his classic red dipped cone. I didn't know what to get, so I went with something that I'm like, okay, chocolate. I love chocolate. I got the brownie Blizzard. And It was terrible. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know if that particular Dairy Queen was just really bad, or the employee didn't know how to mix it right, or that maybe she didn't use enough. Maybe the machine was old. I don't know. There was something wrong with that ice cream. It did not taste very chocolatey. The brownie pieces were like a little bit stale, and none of it was good. It was my worst ice cream experience I think I've ever actually had.
Yeah, you were complaining about it all the way back to the hotel.
I was.
And that was like a 15-minute drive.
I was like, this was a waste of money. Why did we do this?
And I was eating my soft serve, cone with vanilla and the red dip, and I was just like, yeah, it really doesn't taste like anything. No, it doesn't seem to matter the particular stores or the state. Dairy Queen all tastes the same no matter where you go, and it's all pretty flavorless, and we're so going to get sued by Dairy Queen.
Yeah, if you notice that this is our last episode of the podcast, you know why. But I will say, the most recent time we went, not counting the brownie incident, I tried something different because I had the memories of, I don't know, the bad times of the brownie stuff in my head. I'm like, I can't get the brownie blizzard. That's probably why I didn't get that cupfection thing with the brownies and Oreos in it.
Oh, because you have like that negative stigma towards it?
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it.
That makes sense.
So, I tried the Turtle Pecan Cluster Blizzard. And that was chocolate soft serve, pecans, caramel, blizzarded, swirled up.
Blizzarded.
And it was actually very good. Taste-wise, tasty. There was a good amount of nuts. The caramel, something about Dairy Queen's caramel is like addictive. I don't know.
You like it.
It was really good, the caramel specifically. But my problem with this one was, and we've talked about this in other places, the speed at which it melted.
Yep.
Was alarming. And we went...
It was melting even before we walked out of the store, right?
And here's the other part. We went in the evening, and it wasn't a hot day. It was like 70 degrees.
Can you imagine if we went during a hot day?
No! I had ice cream soup on me.
And when we came home with your mom's ice cream, we had to go shove it in the freezer because it was melting.
Yep. But I have to tell you, I think that benefited her in the long run because we put hers in the freezer. We said, there's no way you can eat this now. It's liquid. We gotta put it in the freezer. And she was like, okay. So we put it in the freezer, and I got it for her later. And... I pulled the lid off, a little bit stuck to the lid. She took the main cup with the spoon, and I, licked the lid just to, for a little taste test thing. And
it was better.
It was so good. It's not even fair. I was so mad, because here's the other thing. I don't usually like mint ice cream. I'm not a mint chocolate chip person. Something about the mint with the Oreo, I don't know. Maybe just, it was done very well. And it was really good, and I, licked the rest of the lid. I'm like, this isn't fair. I don't like how that worked out. So next time on Miracle Treat Day, I'm going to be getting the Mint Oreo Blizzard.
Okay.
Because that thing
Maybe I'll try that next time. Instead of just continuing this endless, empty cycle of getting vanilla soft serve ice cream cones and just walking away disappointed every time.
Well, you said you don't like Oreos, so...
Well... I'm sure that the mint would make up for it. I like mint.
Alright, well, either way, point is, I had terrible experience, decent experience, and then immediately followed by rage that I didn't get this other thing experience. So, that's my overall experience with Dairy Queen. Although, while we were talking about it, I feel like I unlocked a memory from the past.
Oh, go,
with
tell.
The Peanut Buster Parfait. Because I swear I've ordered that before. Mm-hmm. I swear.
Like when you were a kid?
When I was a kid. I feel like because I love peanuts. I love peanut butter.
You do.
All of that stuff. So I'm pretty sure that I tried that as a kid, and I think I really enjoyed it, because I remember getting it more than once.
Uh-huh.
So
I think what really, like, screwed me over with this whole thing is that the time that I went to Route 9 and, like, we got the foot and a half tall ice cream cone. It was a foot and a half, so it was, like, awesome. It's like, okay, that's a lot of ice cream for the value. It was like, cool, that stood out in a good way in my head. And then we were in Rhode Island the last time we hit it. We got it. And then I was like, okay, this is fine. But it was also before we started making the ice cream podcast, and I started to find out what actually good ice cream is.
Right.
So it was just like something to eat, and I didn't like, and I wasn't a big critic back then. But now, that's not good ice cream.
No, it's really sad because I like what Dairy Queen stands for.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing something right because they're international and they're in 20 countries and they've stood the test of time. They've been around since late 30s to 1940s when their first official store opened.
You want to like them.
I want to like them so bad. I want them to not suck.
But I think they've gotten complacent because they've been around too long.
And maybe, I don't know. I was saying in the car, I really think that they developed this soft serve formula in 1938 and have made no adjustments to it.
I was literally thinking that before.
Since then, they have made no effort to improve upon it.
If that's how ice cream, maybe they haven't. Maybe that's the reason why it is the way it is. Because they came up with it in 1938 when people weren't highly addictive to sugar. So something like that seemed really good back then. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If they haven't changed the formula, that would make sense that it was considered good back then. But compared to everything now that's loaded with tons and tons of high fructose corn syrup, it just tastes tasteless.
Yeah. And that's pretty much all I have to say about Dairy Queen. Oh, and it's not terribly... It's not like it's cheap either. It was kind of expensive for what you get.
Yeah, seriously.
Because we got 2 small blizzards.
I have it right here.
Oh, you're gonna...
And it doesn't say a single thing on it except, like...
The price.
The price.
Oh, we got receipt ASMR for you.
Stop it.
But we paid $21.82 for 3 people.
Mm-hmm.
2 small blizzards, 1 large cone.
Let's just say offhand that they probably all cost about $7.
Around there. Which is a lot of money for what we got.
Yeah.
I think.
It wasn't even like one of those...
Especially since 80% of mine melted into liquid and I couldn't... Well, not 80.
Your mom's was kind of melted, and then mine wasn't the massive giant version that I got that one time at Route 9.
Right. So, it was... I don't know. And you know what surprised me as well is that it was, like, busy.
Yeah, it was busy. Like, I didn't expect to see that many people there. I think Dairy Queen, like the one in Route 9, it's like a hole in a box in the side of the road. Like, it just seems so, unfriendly, that one, at times.
Yeah, this was definitely a high-class Dairy Queen that we went to, I have to say. In Middletown, and it was nice. Like inside, it was very well put together. They had the fridges with the dilly bars and the take-home treats. They had, different things to look at with signs and menus and stuff.
But it was still Dairy Queen.
But the inside was still Dairy Queen.
Well, the inside, but the flavor was still Dairy Queen.
What's that? Oh, that's mean. I don't want to say that.
Yeah, we need to stop or we're going to totally get sued by Dairy Queen.
I don't think so.
They're going to join forces with Cold Stone and destroy us.
I don't think so. I think we're allowed to have opinions. And I'm sure they've gotten their share of bad reviews in the past. But even though I don't think they're going to rank very highly on our tier list, I do think in terms of being a nice company that does good things for people, I would rate them highly. Yes, and
just can't rate them highly on their ice cream. Now, if they were like a, what's that term for when a group goes around and they do a lot of, why is my brain not working? I'll remember later. Just go ahead.
Okay, I have literally no clue what you're on about, but...
they go around and they help people.
Charity?
Yeah, like if they were a charity company, they'd be great, but no, they're an ice cream company.
Yeah, and that is not the best. It's just not.
Maybe their food is just better, and we don't get to see that side of them because there are none around here.
I'll have to do an experiment.
Well, you're going to go out of your way to go find one that has food? And
I think there's one sort of near my job.
Really?
So I might have to go get some... Maybe I'll get my $1 off my chicken strips after all. Alright, what am I looking for? I am looking for the tier list from last week so that we can look at it.
Just go into the pictures and then just... Yeah,
I know. My brain wasn't working either because it's contagious.
Oh, sure. Blame me for my brain fog.
Okay. So at this point, it should be on your screens. For the record, if you are listening to this only on audio and you're not looking at the pictures, we have Frozen Flavors, Ryan's, and Strollo's Lighthouse in the S tier.
In that order.
We have Nicholas Creamery, Carvel, and Ralph's Italian Ices in the A tier.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Rita's and Cold Stone in the B tier.
Yes.
And I think we're going to have to finally put something in one of those bottom tiers.
Yes. It's just a matter of which one. Because from an aesthetic point of view, I would love to say D for Dairy Queen.
But are they that bad? Like, are they really... Do we really want to skip C and put them all the way in the bottom?
The thing is, have you ever had bad ice cream?
Like, bad ice cream?
Yeah. Can you think of any time in your life that you've had ice cream worse than Dairy Queen? Any time in your entire life?
I mean, other than, like... If it's been in the and it's freezer burned, no, I can't.
That's a problem, isn't it? Don't you think that's a problem that you can't think of any ice cream place worse than Dairy Queen? Because then, are we judging these companies based solely off of their products, or are we basing them at least partially off of their business practices? Because I thought we were basing them off of their actual products.
I think it's the products, I know.
I mean, if you want to give them a pity point and bring them up to a C...
No, I think it has to be D for Dairy Queen.
I think so too, just because I don't think I've ever had ice cream so flavorless.
And it melts so fast.
It melts so fast, and it's just like... I know that you disagree with me, but I consider Dairy Queen to be the McDonald's of ice cream. And
McDonald's is the McDonald's of ice cream.
Would you say
McDonald's has ice cream? I think McDonald's ice cream is better than Dairy Queen.
Well, then they can be the C.
Alright.
But I personally think that Dairy Queen should have a D. Just because I don't think I've ever had worse ice cream. Like... Yeah, I would be astounded if we ran into a place like worse than Dairy Queen.
Hey, anything is possible if you just believe.
We're so gonna get sued. Oh my god, they're gonna destroy us.
Before we open our cease and desist letter, thank you again for listening to another episode of Scoop Podcast. This was episode number 9 on our journey through the ice cream zeitgeist. And we thank you, as always. If you haven't already done so, we ask that you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe on YouTube using the handle @Scoop Podcast. Or if you're a Spotify listener, you can follow us there and check us out on Spotify instead. Or do both. And that way you always can definitely be sure to have all the ice cream information you need at your fingertips.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Be
sure to follow, like, subscribe to all the social media things so you can always know where to go for your frozen favorites. And if you like what you're hearing and you want to keep listening, remember to tune in next week for our very first review. I've messed this up.
Our very first foray into frozen yogurt.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my god, my brain stopped working halfway through that.
Yeah, I've infected you with my brain fog.
Alright, so we take a break probably after this, I think.
Yes.
Okay. So thanks again for listening. Frozen yogurt next week, our first frozen yogurt shop that we're going to review. We're looking forward to it, and we hope to see you there.
Yes. It's been fun as always.
Bye.
Bye.